inferior.
Goose. What can I do with that, Goose? Hey. That's a clip right there. Hey.
So we're not ready to record?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So hit that beat. Drop that beat.
Welcome back. Chopt Cheese, episode 13.
We fucking working here.
Swigs, Jigs, and Goose in the house.
We're working on
Good
things.
Chopt Cheese.
I'll edit that. Don't worry about that.
Damn. I thought it was cool.
You may see your levels. Your levels is
Levels
good.
is good.
Wow.
Levels is good.
I think green is good, red is bad.
Your favorite hood opinion piece shows back at your throat.
Feel me?
What's good, Chopt Cheese? I'm Goose.
We already said that.
I said it again.
All right.
That's
I won't
that's
say it
Swiggles.
again.
And that's Jigs.
We only get the names up top once.
I say it twice.
Okay.
Edit it out if you don't like it. Let me freestyle. I'm freestyling.
So, what's going on this week, guys?
What does a podcast mean to you?
Get down. You gotta get down.
No.
Come on. Get down.
That's our topic, bro. What's going on this week? How you doing, bro?
You can't do nothing.
Come on, bro. How you
Can't do
doing?
nothing with this guy. This guy is
I'm asking you, how
my
you doing?
this
How's
nigga's my
everything? This nigga
antagonist.
said, what does a podcast mean to you? Yo, pa.
This guy's my straight and you a straight bad guy in my movie, bro.
Yo, pa. Straight up.
Straight up, you the bad guy in my movie.
How you doing?
Merry Christmas,
Happy New Year.
Hanukkah
Yeah, happy
is upon
Kwanzaa.
us.
Happy
You
Kwanzaa.
feel me?
What is she doing?
This guy's he's more focused on the dog than he is on what the fuck we talking about. The topic at hand. What does a podcast mean to you?
What does a podcast mean to me?
Everybody has an interpretation of what a podcast means to them.
I think a podcast is what you want it to be. What do you guys want Chopt Cheese to be, guys?
Chopt Cheese, or what do I think a podcast is? Which one do you want
What
me
do
to
you
answer
want
first?
Chopt Cheese to be as a podcast?
What topics y'all want us to cover? Chopt Cheese.
Well, I want as many people to relate as possible.
I guess we just asked another question.
Yeah, questions on top of questions. Because I don't like his question.
Oh, okay. So just say you don't want to answer that
Chopt
question.
Cheese, nah, go ahead. Refer to this question, go ahead. Chopt Cheese.
Goose, how about you answer it then?
What's a podcast to me?
Yeah.
Swiggles?
Let's start with that one then. since
I'll
you don't
start.
wanna answer the other one.
I'll start, thanks. All right. That's your initial question?
What's a podcast to you, Goose?
What's a podcast to you?
I just said, I'll start over. Hey, guys.
Start it over,
What's
yup.
going on?
And action. What's a podcast to me?
Yeah. 'cause
It's
you've been
kind of
a
like
dick.
being an entertainer. In the sense that I just want to
You want to entertain?
Nah, I don't want to entertain. I want people to open their minds and stop being so rigid and closed-minded and question things. That's what I want. That's what I'm trying to accomplish by being a part of a podcast.
And what makes you feel that people are that way? And they're
Just the
feeling
whole left and right divide. I've noticed that the divide is real. Like people are, and they don't even realize it, but they'll just be like, "Oh nope." People will box you up before they realize and admit their own faults. They'll be like, "You're in the box."
Yeah. People are always gonna label you.
People are always gonna label you.
But you know what?
no matter what.
Do you prefer the labels, or do you think it makes it harder to express yourself?
I mean, if whatever makes someone else comfortable describing how they perceive you is on you, man.
You know what
I take shit with a grain of salt, but I understand that I would probably agree with someone else more than I would disagree with the
Here's
people
what I
in
gotta
my
say. I
immediate
think
circle.
we've gotten to the point where immediately, once you speak to someone, especially on a podcast, you have to automatically distinguish and get out the way how you're gonna talk to them, what kind of words are like okay, what doesn't trigger them, what does, and everything, because you don't want to get to a point where you're speaking and it gets to that where you don't know what route you can take and be on and off.
Yeah, you don't want the guest to feel like he's ambushed.
Exactly.
No, but that's gonna happen if we ever lead a podcast where we have a guest and that person we don't speak about what we're gonna talk about with that person. It's always gonna seem like ambush.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean,
Like-
even as viewers, even from viewers' standpoint, you know what I mean? Like, we gotta. I'm not saying we gotta be cautious with our words so we don't harm or hurt them, but they have to understand what we're saying. Not in that aspect.
Trying to hit that. No, I had a really good conversation with some friends that I hadn't seen in a while the other day, and shout out to them. They're really good friends of ours, and they did broaden my perspective in the sense that I needed outside conversation with friends. So that wasn't like personal towards them. It's just more like outside opinions of people that I don't know personally. I feel like everyone's going to have an opinion of how you feel. And it's been so polarized lately politically that people who don't know you would judge you. Other people you know will question you. People you don't know will judge you. I'm okay with the questions because then the question opens dialogue and then we could understand each other better.
I think that's why podcasts are great. And I think people should be free when it comes to a podcast. I don't think people should feel like they have any limitations.
Yeah, with words?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Not just
What do
with
you mean?
words, with content.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
when it comes to expressing yourself, you can't fully express yourself unless you're given that platform. That platform is essential to however you reaching and however you speak to people.
Yeah, I think this. So go back to your point. What is a podcast to you? What is a podcast to me? It's my last chance to voice my opinion and let the world know how I feel about what I see going on in my everyday life.
I think just to add on to that, I think a podcast is a great outlet to reach the mass and to be able to express yourself. You know, no hold bars. You know.
Yeah. Free speech,
Yeah.
free
What
speech.
is,
free thought,
Yeah. What is a podcast to you?
questions and ideas.
I think it's a platform that I have that allows me to get my point across with people that are not going to let me talk.
That's a great point.
In a debate.
That's a great
I'm pretty
point.
much.
You know what? That's a great point. I don't mean to interrupt. Hold that thought. A lot of times when you're talking to people and they don't want to hear what you have to say, they can either walk away, talk over you,
Or
or
cut
just,
me off.
either or whatever.
Yeah.
Exactly, cut you off. Now, they either got to turn your shit off
Yeah.
or fucking shut up and listen. And I think a lot of
Yeah,
times when
just
it
hear
comes
us
to the
out.
podcast, you're more inclined to shut up and listen.
Yeah, just hear us out. We
Yeah.
may have some cringeworthy moments, but
It has nothing to do with shutting
people who
up.
know us know that we got love for people. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
just feel certain way in certain things. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
take it away.
No. I just don't. I don't think that they have to like shut up and listen per se. But you're
Yeah.
more inclined to listen behind closed doors, especially if you're a closet fucking hater. Like if you, and this is not this podcast in particular that I'm talking about. I'm talking about any podcast, any
Thing in life in
and
general.
anything in
Word, word,
entertainment,
word.
music. Everybody has their pet peeves, and you might not like a certain thing, but you might like our show.
Yeah, you can
And-
be
and-
somebody in the street, but when you go home, you're somebody totally different.
Yeah. And you're just more inclined to watch a whole episode and listen to everything we have to say, as opposed to being right in front of us and trying to have a discussion. And we Puerto Rican and we're passionate, so we get loud. Some people get scared. Like there's a bunch of things that factor into trying to get your information across to different people.
I mean, we try to keep it subtle at most times, but we can't help it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we
I
are
talk-
who we are.
I talk too loud. A good friend pointed this out the other day. I talk too loud. Like in the middle of the debate, I talk too loud. So there was definitely no disrespect. Like I'm not trying to disrespect nobody.
No. I'm if you know us, then you
Passionate.
know that's not the case.
Well,
It's just a matter of being passionate about the subject.
Yeah. Well,
And-
I think
Sorry.
when it comes to podcasts, also, I think it also depends on the type of person, because some people don't want to hear,
Our opinions.
well, not our opinions, difference of opinions.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
They not so much an echo chamber, because I know some people do have a little bit of a area where they can reach different types of sources, but from social media, they're forced to. But a majority of the times, that's not what they're looking for. They're looking for someone who's there to reassure them that whatever they're thinking, they're right. And podcasts do that a lot, because as you can see, just like us, there are a lot of other people who are very strongly opinionated on whatever their beliefs are. And you can't take that away from them. The only thing you can do is just appreciate that you have the option as well,
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are like, I was gonna say socially awkward, or there's some people that just don't
good point,
interact with
good point.
people, and they just don't have anyone to relate to them either. Like it's not they can't necessarily go out and find friends because they're not people. You know.
You know what?
I'm socially
listen
awkward.
Listen to this. Before we even started the podcast, I used to think about that a lot. I used to look at people and I used to, not praise them, but give them credit. Like, it takes a lot to speak to a fucking camera and, like, speak to a camera as if there's people there looking, like literally right now watching.
I'm socially
And,
awkward.
You know what I mean? Without having to
I
like,
Chopt Cheese.
Yes.
but you know what I'm saying, like stay focused and stay, you know, directed to the camera as if there's literally people watching there right now.
Stay
and
on topic.
and you're interacting. That takes a lot out of somebody. I mean, not a lot out of somebody, but
No, it
they
takes
putting
a
in a
lot,
lot.
for them
Yeah,
to do
exactly,
that. No,
exactly.
it definitely does. I remember if you look at the first couple of
And
takes a lot.
podcasts, I was really
you know,
uncomfortable.
You know why I mentioned
I
that
would-
though? One of the things, I'm sorry to interrupt. One of the reasons why I brought that up is a lot of the people that I noticed that can do that seem socially awkward.
Because they have that's exactly what they do is talk to themselves.
Yeah, got it.
It's exactly what they do all the time.
Bingo.
They don't speak.
That's
they
what I was
speak-
trying to
this,
get to.
This is easy to somebody that's socially awkward. That's why it's not really like I don't feel like millions of people are watching and I should be afraid of what I
Yeah.
say because it's not really.
So when
This is what I do. I'm in my own head all the time, and now I can say
okay.
what's in my head to everybody, or
In my-
or to the fucking
In my
camera.
head,
Got
in
it,
my
got
head
it.
movies.
dope.
In
No.
my head movies.
And it's easier to express yourself like that. And sometimes, well, not me, but I know that there's people that can't get into debates. They get flustered. Some people have a good point but can't express their point because the person that they're trying to express their point to is either a better debater or is confidently giving misinformation, which is something else I hate too. Like, don't confidently give misinformation
Yeah.
in a debate because that's just wrong.
I say this.
Who are
You
you
know what?
fooling?
How
That's
about
not-
how about go further than that? Don't give out any information that you haven't researched to yourself and prove to yourself that it's real.
Yeah, absolutely. You come to a debate with,
Yeah.
with facts.
Yeah, and it has to be facts that you've proven to yourself. Because at the end of the day, just because you heard something doesn't mean it's real, even if you want it to be real.
No, that's true. That's true. You know what?
And it fits their narrative.
You can have your opinion, but you can't have the facts.
You know why
Exactly.
people walk around like zombies, bro, and they're stuck in their phone and they do nothing but, it's because they stopped questioning things and accepted whatever was given to them.
Skepticism is dead.
It's
Mhm.
there. Forget about but
Would anybody like water?
Nah, I'm
no
good.
one understands that. Like, people don't understand that once you stop questioning things, you lose yourself. Like, there's no higher path. There's no way to excel because you accept it and you think that that's it and that's peaking.
Mhm.
And once you stop questioning, there's no bettering yourself
Exactly.
at all.
I mean, that's why it's so easy to have a podcast, because at the end of the day, you can only, I mean, not that you can only, you can put out whatever you want. The content that you put out is what you feel is your best. So whether, I mean, some people do
But
lives, but
Not to
majority
cut
people
you
don't.
off, but we put out stuff and I don't think it was necessarily our best. But I think that it
But we weren't looking for that.
exactly no. But that's
Yeah. But there's some
Understand.
people who, if they do have that mentality where it is something that they're uncomfortable with, they're more likely to make things appear more
that's
of what they're not.
I didn't
Edit
even
that
mind,
part out.
I didn't even mind putting all that stuff out the way we did, especially from the beginning, which looks like episode 1 looks really weird compared to what it is now.
Holy
It's
shit!
a-
of course
Episode
it is.
1 was just us sitting down.
It's a
Sitting
leap
down with a
and a
GoPro
bound.
and that's it, man.
It's a big difference.
But you know
And
what?
it's-
The best thing about that is we want to have something to reflect on. You know what I mean? We want to have something to look back on, like, wow, look at where we started. Because if we think
You can
this is
still hear it though, really good.
no, I mean like to the point where it's as the quality so people can hear it the way it is now. You know what I mean? Episode 1, I think, is classic, even though you can't see the way we see now, is because it, like I said, it gives us that grace point where we can stop and reflect. And if we think that we've improved now, give us like 10, 20 more episodes from now and see where we gone from there. But I don't think we're gonna improve that much, in my opinion, only because
I do.
from episode 1 to now, there has been a lot of changes. I don't think a lot of changes will be visually. I think the changes will be more of the aspects of our content.
Yeah, absolutely.
And guests and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So that's probably what will change.
I think that, and that's gonna show though. It's gonna show a lot more. It's gonna
Mhm.
like I remember not being comfortable doing it in the beginning.
Can I add
It's
to that not being comfortable point?
Yeah.
It takes a lot to throw your opinions into court of public opinion.
You asked them about
We're
that, right?
asking to be judged by throwing this podcast out there into the world.
But it was a good point that you said earlier. Like,
Bring it.
listen, at the end of the day, no one asked us to make this.
Throw stones.
We did this on our own. You know what I mean? Like, and with
But
that,
you live in a glass house, Chopt Cheese.
and with that being said, we're putting ourselves out there, our image. We the ones that have everything to lose. So anybody who has something to say, whether it's good or bad, remember, we knew what we were getting ourselves into before we did this. We were okay with whatever outcome they would be.
Let's do it. Let's rock.
And with that being said, we're not going to change ourselves just because it fits someone else's agenda or someone else's opinion towards what podcast should be. Our podcast is fucking Chopt Cheese. And our podcast will always be whatever we feel like that week and whatever we feel like we want to put out. Whether it be Goose
Just talking some shit.
You know what I mean? Goose saying some shit. Jig
Talking
saying
shit
some
about
or me saying some
politics.
shit. Politics, sports, whatever it
Talking
is.
about some bullshit sports.
But guess what? The content is going to be real.
Bread and
It's from
circus.
us. It's not some fake shit. You know what I mean?
Nothing
When
on
people want you to
nothing
see a
scripted.
fake side of them. This is us. This is what you get. You don't like it? I don't know what to tell you.
No. I'm saying if you don't like it, like let us know in the comments, and we'll try to figure out a way to block your ass on YouTube. That
feel
way
me?
you don't have to watch anymore. Like I
Then
don't
you
need
good.
you as a viewer.
It
I'm
costs,
good.
Just
it
like
costs you
that
nothing.
channel.
Pay me no mind.
I like to be able to say what's on my mind,
Just change the channel.
and there's gonna be people that like it. There's gonna be people that don't
PC
like
culture
it.
is a disease.
Yeah, word.
Whatever
know
you
what I mean?
feel, just
No
have
echo
an
chambers.
opinion about us.
No echo
Exactly.
chambers.
Just have an opinion about us. That's what I asked for.
You can change the channel. You can go back to whatever you was watching before. That's your BET, MTV, whatever it was.
Whatever it
You know what I
was.
You know, go watch your rap videos.
Reading Rainbow,
You know what I mean?
Sesame Street.
Go watch DIY. Go learn how to build a deck.
I don't know. Maybe
You know
you
what I mean?
want to fucking watch. Maybe you a fan of Andrew Cuomo and you want to fucking watch him and Dr. Fauci do a little fucking
Mhm.
dance over here.
Go throw on PBS.
Go throw on
what I
fucking
mean?
CBS.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you feel like you want to hear at the top.
But anyway, our podcast
Back to the point.
will and only be something that we can make it be.
Bam. Whatever the fuck that meant.
You know what that meant?
What that meant?
That meant that there's always going to be pressure. And there's always going to be a time where you feel like, damn, is this good? Am I doing what I really want to be doing?
That's a good point. Yeah.
But guess what? If it feels right, it's right, bro. Let it
Everybody
out.
has an
Let
opinion,
that,
bro.
Let that shit slide,
It's
bro. No more.
okay.
You know what I mean?
But if you have watched this from the beginning and you haven't noticed the change, then you ain't watching hard enough.
Nope. You ain't watching on it.
Come on, man. Share, like, and subscribe.
This guy.
Let us talk shit. Jigs is learning how to use a fucking iPad.
should make sure this
Swiggles controls the board.
This
Goose
is
got all the opinions, no facts.
from down up. You got too much in there.
Mm.
4371.
Yahoo the
Alright.
Google link, Jigs.
There you go. You ready? You back, bro?
He's back.
This guy's like,
This guy's a fucking thot, this guy.
Yo, is Cuomo still in trouble for those sexual allegations?
Wait a minute. Why is nobody talking about that? Now let's talk about it.